Ronin Mode Unmasked. Chapter 12, Closet Studio Blues. It was the early 2000s, and I was still haunted by the aftermath of my mom's death. Everything felt empty. I was drifting, grieving, broken, and raw, with nothing but time, pain, and this quiet rage burning under the surface. I ended up staying with my cousin in San Antonio. People called him Pizza, a nickname from childhood that just stuck. He was living in this grimy little complex called Copper Mill. And saying it was ghetto doesn't even scratch the surface. That place was a damn war zone. Every week, something went down, car windows smashed in, the leasing office robbed, gunshots echoing like clockwork. Helicopters hovered low at night, sweeping the buildings with searchlights like we were suspects in our own lives. Copper Mill didn't give a fuck if you were trying to lay low. It pulled you in. And Pizza? He wasn't exactly trying to rise above it. Always had a blunt in one hand, a beer in the other, even when we were driving. Chaos on legs. But at that time, he was all I had. Family, blood, and bad influence in one package. Word spread fast in a place like that. After a couple weeks, people started whispering. Pizza's cousin used to do music. Then one early morning, still dark out, I got woken up by a hard knock on my bedroom window. I cracked it open, half asleep, and looked down. There he was, grinning like he already had the next 10 moves planned out. One of the neighbors. Everyone called him Dre Dog. "Wake up, Ronnie boy," he said. That's what they used to call me. Ronnie boy. Quiet. Watchful. Always with headphones around my neck and too much going on in my head. "We're building a little studio in my spot," he said. "Your cousin told me you know music. You down?" I told him, "Yeah, I know a little. I'm not a professional or anything." He smiled like that was all he needed to hear. "Cool. Look, I don't got cash, but I'll pay you in product. Just help me get this rap shit off the ground," he said. And just like that, I was in. Dre Dog wasn't just another dude with a dream. He was the local plug. Coke, weed, connections, chaos, he had his hands in it all. And he wasn't just trying to rap, he was trying to build something. A kingdom out of baseboards and street codes. So we got to work. The studio was his bedroom closet. We stapled egg cartons all over the walls like we were trying to summon music with cardboard magic. He had an old PC running Fruity Loops 4. No interface. No monitors. Just that and some busted headphones. That's how far back I go. I'd been messing with music since '99. Me and Bradicus even tried to start a band. But most people just say they want to make music. They talk big, dream big, but they fold the minute it's time to learn anything. Even Brad dropped off. I was the only one who kept pushing. Kept trying. Kept caring. But I didn't know shit about production. And neither did Dre Dog. He had bars, no doubt, but didn't know the first thing about mixing, recording, or arranging. I told him straight. "Give me a few weeks to figure this shit out." He nodded. "Do your thing, Ronnie boy." So I did. For 2 straight months, I lived in that damn closet. No internet. No YouTube. It's not like back then you could just hop online and learn to produce music. There weren't tutorials. There weren't guides. I checked out books on music theory from the library, but there was nothing on production. That knowledge was hidden, kept like some dark industry secret the labels didn't want the world to know. Instinct and stubborn-ass determination. I was tweaking off coke half the time, headphones glued to my skull, trying to make sense of a whole new language. trial, error, and late-night madness. And while I was locked in that closet, the rest of Dre Dog's apartment was going off. He threw wild-ass parties almost every night. Strippers, drugs, bottles everywhere. Mountains of blow. Naked girls dancing in the kitchen. People passing out on the floor. And on every table, on every bed, machine guns. Not pistols. Machine guns. Loaded. Waiting. And the moment someone yelled, "I'm going to get my sneakers," we all knew what that meant. Somebody was about to pull up with a gun. That was the warning. You heard that, you grabbed your shit and dipped. But me? I stayed in that closet. Head down. Dialed in. Learning. Failing. Recording demo after demo. Building something from scratch in a world that wanted me dead or disappeared. We cut a few tracks, me and Dre. And a couple of randoms who wandered in high and hungry. Nothing fancy, nothing polished, but it was real. And it was ours. Eventually, though, I had to make a choice. Stay lost in that madness, or pull myself out and try to become something greater. I told Pizza and Dre Dog I was out. I never saw Dre again. Don't know what happened to those tracks, or what became of him. I wish I still had those demos. I wish I could resurrect those ghosts and finish what we started. But that closet? That machine gun party zone? That was my foundation. You want to know where Ronin Mode was born? It wasn't in a studio. It wasn't in a classroom. It was in the middle of a war zone. Wired on coke. Surrounded by gangsters. Fighting to learn something no one wanted to teach. That's street certified. That's my truth. Facts.